Hey guys, Czar here. Good morning to you. Hope all is well. It is Thursday, Feb 8th, and we are getting ready to open here in the next minute and 10 seconds on the New York Stock Exchange. As most of you know, I no longer record all of my trade video from beginning to end, whether I have 1, 2, 3, or even 4 trades in a day. I'll now do a recap on my trades. You have nearly 800 videos there of me recording my entire videos. Of course, I edit them down for dead air and stuff, but you watch the beginning and the middle and the end of each of those trades. But I've been locked in for too long into trades with this low VIX environment, between 2 to 5 hours very often. And I can't do that. It doesn't allow me to take breaks or exercise or deal with my my family and so on and so forth. So hopefully you understand that. Also produce content. If my software is all locked up in these very, very long trades, I don't get a chance to produce content for you. And so that's the way it's going to be now, for now at the very least. And this is constantly a work in progress, as you can imagine. I'll put you on pause for now. We'll wait till this thing opens and see where we go from here today. Dow, guys. And short the Dow, guys, right there. Didn't have a chance to put the marker up first. Things are happening very quickly here. Stop above the session high. Short the Dow. Break below prior candle low on the 30-minute chart. I'll show that to you in a moment. Rejecting from the prior day's high, yesterday's high. See that there? And the 30-minute zone, of course. And target 1 has been hit, guys, finally. We've been in this trade since 9:35, just 5 minutes into the session, as you know. And been sitting here. We pulled all the way back and now finally hit the primary target of 1R. And now I'm going to sit here and wait with you and see if 1.5 and 2R can get hit as well and experience full profitability. We'll come back. And target 2 has been hit, so the 1.5 hour all or nothing trader has left the game as well. Only one more model, the 2.5 hour all or nothing trader left here in the game. And there it is, guys. Finally, had to wait a little while for this one. It's 11:16. Entered this at 9:35 or so. Now we've hit all 4 targets as far fully profitable. That's target 3, by the way, for 2R. All right. This trade, guys, was a zone reversal trade. As you can see here on the 30-minute in the bottom left-hand side, we had been rallying up here for the whole second half of the European session. And then when we opened, we slammed right into, rocketed up. It looked like the Dow was going to rally. By the way, while the NASDAQ and the S&P were selling down initially, the Dow looked very strong. Then all of a sudden, this rejection wick formed because it reversed very, very quickly and suddenly right at the prior day's high. And this is key, including a very key zone from yesterday's New York session, a very aggressive zone which kept prices pushed down and grinding all day essentially, and really halted and stopped this aggressive rally earlier on. So this whole section in here. So the rejection early on, I will say that the 3 sisters were also in agreement at that time. It didn't last very long, but let me just show this to you. So here's the Dow. This is the 1-minute chart. I sold right here. So rallied first, rejected at the prior day's high, sold down, and I sold and entered my short below the open range. It was also the session low, of course, as well. At that time, the S&P had driven down, had pulled back up again, and had rounded over right there. That little blue candle broken the candle low. Looked like it was coming down, and eventually did a little bit. The same thing on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ was actually looking the weakest of the 3. Since then, of course, the NASDAQ is the strongest of the 3 by far. It doesn't matter. The Dow continued all the way down. It just took a while, but we finally got there. So break of prior candle low at the same time as my entry. See my entry right here? Notice the prior 30-minute candle. All of these are part of the stack. The reasons or layers of evidence for my entry and for my trade. Have an amazing day, guys. I might be back a little bit later. I'm going to put you on pause for now. We'll see how the rest of the day goes. Hey guys, Zar here. Hope all is well. We're in the afternoon now. It's 3:26 almost into the last half hour of the session, and we have pulled all the way back up to the open range here on the Dow with a giant V bottom, intraday V bottom here. Big impulse down. I caught that on the downside here this morning, and have waited all this time for this thing to move all the way back up, and we have just tagged the open range. I think we're probably likely going to get a sell-off here. This is a 30-second chart, by the way, and that's just to see the minutia, the micro action here in the last last half of power hour. So we're already in a higher volume time. We're not seeing a lot here today, quite frankly. It's been pretty quiet. I know that the S&P is moving a little bit higher here, NASDAQ as well. Let me just show that to you real quick. There's the S&P breaking a zone here on a different chart. It's a little messy because it is a 30-second chart. And this is the NASDAQ trying to get back to prior day's high here, and it's having a little bit of trouble. So I'm not interested in either of those. They're very, very messy today. And I know some of the traders that I am familiar with and that I work with have had a rough day today. And the reality is, if you weren't trading the Dow, you probably had a rough day, depending on what your model looks like. But it was not a pretty day for either the S&P or the NASDAQ, but quite a flowing day for the Dow. And if you got lucky enough to be trading the Dow, then things probably went reasonably well for you. Okay, guys, here we go. Here we go. Selling right now. Pull back. Here we go at that line right there, guys. In, stop above. I'll be right back. Just going to my own platform here to make sure my brackets are good, and I believe they are. Here we go. My model does allow me to manually close all open models, and I run 4 models, as many of you know. I can close all open models in the last 15 minutes. We are now at 3:30. In other words, in 15 minutes, I'll be able to do that. If I survive that long, it's been quite a rally up here, but I'm expecting that hitting the lower end of the open range here is going to cause a little bit of selling pressure to come in, especially given the time of day. That's not happening yet, but I'm going to have a little bit of faith here in my coin toss. I've called heads. It's a weighted coin. The coin is weighted towards heads, but that's no guarantee. All right, guys, I'm going to try to close all of these out now at 1R. It's manual close at 1R and see if we can drive down. There we are, guys, and so now I've closed all of the models at 1R. So this is a 1R win to add to our tally today of 2R from earlier today. So that's the 1R right there. Thank you for joining me today, guys. Have an amazing evening. We'll talk to you soon.